Hey guys, it's Darcy Lacouvet here from Android Authority. We're just at Samsung Unpacked Berlin. We're going to have a presentation where, in all likelihood, the Galaxy Note 2 will be revealed. We're just here with Ryan Biden. He's the Director of Product Marketing for Samsung Mobile Americas. And he's just going to talk about the design philosophy and a couple other things that only a man of his talents can talk about.
Anyway. Thanks. Well, I think it's difficult to kind of live up to that introduction. There's a lot of really cool stuff that we're doing that's fairly unique, and kind of for us is a pretty big departure from the way we kind of would have done things historically. I mean, to talk about our design language, for example, with the Galaxy S3, we announced kind of a design by nature philosophy with the smooth curves.
Human inspired.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Inspired by nature, designed for humans.
Excellent. Good tagline.
But the important thing about that is it was really getting away from how phones, how mobile kind of looked traditionally, and really sort of charting our own course. So when you look at what we've done now with the Galaxy Note 2, you can get a lot of that same idea. So it looks very much like the Galaxy S3, new design, sleek curves.
Beautiful.
And so you extend that into software with the Nature UX and what we've been doing in evolving TouchWiz and kind of give our phones a unique feel and unique flavor. So when you walk in and you're looking for an Android device, your Samsung device experience will be pretty consistent. So that's exactly what we want to drive to, is really to get consumers to come in looking for a Samsung device rather than just another Android.
Exactly,
So that's a big part of it. And then we've been doing a lot of work also on kind of the UX side, so the user experience and new ways to interact with your phone. So we started with gestures on the Galaxy S3. So you could or a couple turn over to mute, for example, or S-Beam with kind of the tap to share stuff. So starting to work on those kinds of things around gestures, and then we had voice control, so voice command for apps, so being able to take a picture, snooze your alarm,
very convenient,
voice, that kind of stuff. But then also with the S Pen, so obviously with what we're doing with the Note and the Note 2, allowing people to interact with their devices in a really familiar way is really important to us. And so it's not just about the traditional things you think about using something like the S Pen, like a traditional stylus, but really what we've done is integrate it into the device experience. So it's actually a feature called AirView, but what it allows you to do is actually hover the S Pen over your device, and you can actually see kind of like a cursor pinpoint on screen. And it kind of like, I would consider it a lot like PC experience with a mouse. So kind of you can mouse over things, or in this case, AirView over a folder of pictures, and it expands. So kind of saving you clicks, adding productivity to the way you use the device, but kind of, again, integrating into how you use the device rather than just some tacked on features. So for us, it's been about this idea of defining our own kind of language, our own Samsung device experience, and then innovating within that.
Just got to unify it, make it simple and intuitive.
That's the next step, obviously. A
lot of people have Samsung TVs in their home. The display division is very large. In terms of being able to get content to seamlessly integrate with other Samsung devices, there's some features baked in?
We're absolutely working on that stuff. So the big thing is there's two main things I would say that we're really doing to help there. One is All Share. So that's our traditional DLNA. We've really simplified that now, and a lot of our new devices, it's actually contextually integrated into the players.
Wonderful.
So for example, if you've got an All Share enabled TV or other device on your network, they see each other automatically.
Very good.
While you're watching the video, just click the icon, share it automatically, and you're good to go around.
Automatically, man.
The other cool thing, though, and a bit more kind of broad-reaching, is what we're doing with All Share Play. So, and that's now an app that you can find on our smart TVs. It's on our phones. You can get it for your PC, and so basically now you can have access to content on any of those devices. From any of those devices. So rather than having, say, I shot a video of the soccer game on my phone, but I don't have my phone in the living room, so in the kitchen. I can actually browse to it from the TV using All Share Play. So making it easy to get to this content wherever it is, and not kind of locking it in one device or another.
I hope my grandma can figure it out.
Well, we're working to get there so that she can.
That's the goal, right?
That's the stuff. This technology is great. And we're bringing lots and lots of new features to the market.
Absolutely,
The reality is now we need to simplify and make this stuff a lot more easy and seamless.
It's a tall order, but simplicity is really what people are looking for.
Exactly. And none of it's easy. So.
And also too, there's a big departure, from spec focus. And obviously we saw that with the S3 launch. And I think we're probably going to see that tonight too, aren't we?
Well, a lot of it for us is the specs are great, but it's what you're doing with the device that's the important part, right? The experience for people. I'm not convinced that chasing a quad-core 1.6 gigahertz processor is like the right thing. I mean, it's a great processor.
Pretty cool.
Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic processor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the GPU on that thing's fantastic. But
yes,
the moral of the story is it's now what you can do with that device.
Precisely.
Right? So for us, it's more about communicating what are those experiences, what are the new things that technology enables, rather than the technology for technology's sake aspect of it.
A tough question. So this is a device that's launching with Jelly Bean, you know, and was working with Google. Have they been able? I know they've made some architectural changes to Android that could facilitate, you know, updates. You know, so are things getting better there? Obviously, we all know how it goes.
Yeah.
You buy a device, and certain manufacturers, like LG, you know, they have a really bad track record with updating devices in a prompt fashion, particularly like carrier-backed devices,
well,
right?
And I think so. There's a few things there. We work very closely with Google. I mean, we are the largest Android OEM, so
big time.
Obviously, we work very closely with them, and we know that from a consumer standpoint, particularly enthusiast consumers, that getting access to the most recent software is a really important thing.
Yeah, it is.
I think what you'll see is from ice cream sandwich, or from gingerbread to ice cream sandwich, was a pretty fundamental change in technology.
Big time.
And I think what we're seeing is a lot less integration work moving from gingerbread.
Yes, a lot easier, essentially. Okay, that's fantastic.
So, from ice cream to Jelly Bean. I guess the moral of that story is, I know lots of people are clamoring for Jelly Bean on their devices.
They are.
I think the answer is we're working on it.
I understand. No, I get you. And in terms of when the device will be available, can you give us?
Basically, all we're saying today is that the Note 2 will be available later this year.
Later this year.
Later this year.
Got to do a bit better than that. Right?
That is unfortunately. So wait,
Come on.
Q3 or Q4?
Oh,
how about that?
6-month window, eh? All right. Well, if I was a betting man.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of time actually left in this year.
No.
Think about it practically as we sit here at the end of
I don't even know what date it
August.
is. I have no idea. I think it's the 29th, though.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, no, that's exact. So it will be available this year. Unfortunately, I can't be any more specific than that.
Okay. But in terms of, it's going to be similar to what happened with the S3. You know, obviously Samsung's going for a global, united rollout. Gotta give me something.
No, I can't give you anything on it.
Okay.
Basically, so what we're doing today is we're announcing the global device.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done this with devices before the Galaxy S3, and we'll continue to do it with devices going forward.
It's a good template.
With the Galaxy S3 and our other kind of iconic Samsung experience devices, trying to have as broadly consistent experience across the planet is really important. And I feel the same way about the Note. So having said that, we've got to wait and see until we make specific announcements about the US and other markets.
Absolutely, I completely understand. So, and also, I had a technical question. So it is a 1280 by 720 panel, HD Super AMOLED, but it isn't of the Pentel matrix variety. So it has a full RGB matrix, so great color reproduction, everything. Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
it is the next evolution of our Super AMOLED technology.
Excellent.
So it is like brighter, crisper, looks fantastic.
I mean, it really, like, just comparing the displays today, you could really see the difference. Very robust and clear, and the whites are excellent.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're very proud of our Super AMOLED displays, and I think this is just another great example.
Consumers love them, you know. That's fantastic. But it is a step down in resolution, you know, over the Note.
Well, I mean, what we were going for is, so there was a couple of things that actually led to the decision. So we went with 1280 by 720. Yeah. Standard kind of HD 720p resolution.
Fantastic.
So a couple of reasons why. I mean, one is obviously from a media consumption perspective, it matters.
Yes, that's true.
The other is really from a kind of wanting to give the consumer a larger screen, but also have it continue to fit in the hand.
Precisely, yeah.
So what you've got with this one, because of the curves and because of the slightly different aspect ratio, so 16:9 instead of 16:10.
It is 16:9, yeah.
What you've got is a bigger screen and a device that's actually a little bit narrower than the original.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Really nice thin bezel on it.
Yeah, so you can hold it, feels great, a lot more comfortable than the original.
Okay, excellent. And also too, in terms of the image sensor, can you comment on the technicalities in that? Is it the same image sensor in the Note or in the S3?
It's a great question. I don't know if it's the same part number. Okay. But it's got all of the same kind of performance and camera stuff that we announced.
One would think that it would be, that's really technical. Awesome, man.
Camera stuff that we announced on the S3. What I was going to say is there's actually a bunch of new software features, like some new group shot stuff where you can kind of browse through a couple of different facial expressions on people, put them in the picture. So software like that, I mean, zero shutter, like all that same kind of stuff, but it is still 8 megapixel. Okay. So what we wanted to focus on is, I mean, the other thing that we're announcing here is the Galaxy camera.
Yes, of course.
Right. So with that, you've got a 16 meg, 21 time optical zoom, all of that kind of stuff.
Nice device.
So if you're looking for a camera first device, I think that's great for you. But for us, I mean, for most consumers and a lot of feedback we're getting today, the 8 megapixel shooter is great.
It is.
What we wanted to do was work on enhancing the software experience behind that.
I mean, 6 pictures a second, all the stuff about the social sharing, obviously, you know, being able to automatically determine what the best picture is. Yeah. That's all wonderful stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I wish I could ask you guys a question, but I'm doing my best here. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks.
Hey, man. Thanks very much for everything.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. We'll be reporting live here at IFA Berlin. We got lots of good stuff coming from Android Authority, the #1 Android site on the web.